No person is free who is not master of himself. Seneca. A cold glow, a quick tap, an endless stream of stimuli that never ceases, your eyes glazed over the screen, time slipping like sand through your fingers. Does your phone control you more than you control your life? Think of the urgency. That need to check, to scroll, to seek the next stimulus. Even when work waits, dreams slumber, real life begs for your presence. You feel dragged, a pixelated puppet. What happens when instant gratification, that invisible drug, undermines your discipline, your focus, your ability to achieve meaningful goals? Chronic procrastination isn't laziness, it's the slavery of digital dopamine. Seneca, the Stoic master, already warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." But how can one be a master when your own mind is held captive by algorithms and notifications that gleam like chains? Your days become a sequence of unfulfilled intentions, of silent regrets, of frustrations that pile up like dark mountains, suffocating your ability to act. Procrastination isn't a habit, it's a symptom of a chained soul. What happens when true freedom, that of mastering yourself, is traded for false control over screens? You get lost in the digital labyrinth, where every click is a step deeper into your own prison. If this provocation hit you at your deepest core, if you feel the invisible claws of the screen pulling your attention away from your life, this video is a brutal mirror, ready to break the shimmering chains, ready to unveil the slavery that traps you. You weren't born with a need for instant gratification. You were born with the capacity to wait, to build patiently, to focus on long-term goals with a discipline that now seems mythical. But you were programmed for distraction, for immediacy, for the consumption of digital stimuli that now control you. From the first smartphone in your hands, from the first social network, society taught you a new language. The language of dopamine spikes. Apps were meticulously designed to addict, to create reward cycles that activate your brain's pleasure centers, keeping you connected, scrolling, tapping, always seeking more. Your focus was fragmented, your patience eroded. This is behavioral engineering in its coldest, most addictive essence, a system that trains you to react, not to reflect, that rewards you for an empty action, stealing your time and vital energy. Think of the intermittent positive reinforcement of the surprise, like, the unexpected notification, the video that suddenly traps you for hours. Each of these micro-stimuli validates your presence on screen, reinforcing the belief that the next scroll will bring satisfaction, keeping you enslaved by dopamine. And behavioral finance enters here brutally. The attention economy, that invisible money machine, monetizes every second of your focus. Tech companies profit from your procrastination, from your difficulty concentrating, selling your time and data to advertisers who exploit your most unconscious desires. You fall into emotional and financial debt, buying products driven by digital ads, postponing important tasks that cost money, or feeling guilty for productivity that slips through your fingers. Procrastination in itself can have a direct financial cost: missed deadlines, ignored investment opportunities, or delayed decisions that result in losses. Robert Cialdini, in his Laws of Persuasion, shows how social proof, everyone's online, you should be too, and reciprocity, the app is free, you owe them your attention, are used to manipulate your perception. They sell the illusion of connection and freedom, but you are the product, your discipline the price, and your procrastination the result. You were indoctrinated to love your digital chains because they promise false comfort, a refuge from boredom or a difficult task, instead of the true freedom of mastering yourself. If this programming resonates with you, if you feel the invisible thread pulling your mind to the screen, comment below, "I question my digital discipline." You feel a sharp pain, a silent guilt gnawing from within, an abyss of lost time and potential. Your mind, once a garden of ideas, now a barren field, devoid of focus, where frustration germinates with each postponed task. This is your internal fragmentation, the price of your soul surrendered to the slavery of digital dopamine and the tyranny of chronic procrastination. The shadow, according to Carl Jung, is everything you deny within yourself. Your innate discipline, your capacity for self-control, your true willpower, your deepest purpose, your aversion to the superficial. All this has been silenced, pushed into the unconscious dark, in the name of ephemeral pleasure and the illusion of rest that the screen offers. And what you repress commands you from the shadows. It sabotages you in cruel, invisible ways. Hence the vicious cycle of regret and frustration, the anxiety that paralyzes when an important task arises, the feeling that you are never enough, no matter how much time you spend online. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's the scream of your shadow, chained to digital comfort. Gabor explains that the trauma of disconnection from one's own potential, of the pressure to be productive without internal tools, creates a vicious cycle of self-deception. Your own ability to achieve, to focus on meaningful goals, atrophies under the weight of an addiction that is not yours but implanted by a system that profits from your distraction. You project your shadow onto those who seem disciplined, onto those who get everything done. Because seeing focus in them means facing your own surrender, your own difficulty in controlling impulse. You wear the mask of the multitasker, the connected one. But behind it, your soul screams for silence and for time that is truly your own. Your identity becomes procrastination itself. You are not who you are. You are the person that instant gratification and the fear of effort allow you to be, a puppet moved by notifications that gleam. How much of your life is spent maintaining this illusion of control over the screen? In feeding the addiction that undermines your discipline? In fighting against time that slips away like sand? If this truth provoked you, if you feel the invisible cracks in your mind, comment below. I choose my unshakable discipline. You seek freedom. But why do you feel so empty, trapped in an endless stream of information, even with the freedom of access to everything, with infinite choices in the palm of your hand? The freedom they promised you was connection. But digital dopamine stole even the ability to be present, the freedom to scroll, to consume content non-stop. But procrastination chained you to a cycle of inaction, to a routine of regret that seems insurmountable. This is false freedom. A prison of pixels where control is an illusion and existential emptiness deepens with every minute spent aimlessly, with every task endlessly postponed. The system sells you the illusion of effortless productivity, of free time filled with stimuli. It transforms your search for meaning into a dopamine trap, into fleeting pleasure spikes that dissipate into the air, leaving a trail of frustration. Think of the attention and digital entertainment industry. It doesn't need to force you to procrastinate. It just needs to offer a constant flow of immediate rewards, of short videos, of addictive games, of notifications that flash like beacons in a dark night, and profit flows dripping from your distraction. This is procrastination capitalism. It profits from your lack of focus, from your inability to achieve, from your incessant pursuit of quick gratification. Your discipline, your time, your potential, all monetized by the engine of easy pleasure that immobilizes you. Behavioral finance operates here brutally. How often have you found yourself postponing crucial financial decisions, paralyzed by the fear of effort or the irresistible pull of a new series? Or conversely, spent compulsively on online games, on essential products dictated by influencers, just to quell the panic of the task that needs to be done? The slavery of dopamine shapes your finances, transforming money, which should be a tool, into a means to sustain the vicious cycle. Daniel Kahneman taught us about present bias, the preference for a reward now, even if the long-term cost is your realization. And the digital world is the master of this bias, keeping you in a state of consumption, of avoiding any step that requires real discipline. You are not deciding. You are obeying the voice of instant gratification, the script of just one more minute that turns into hours. To maintain the illusory order of your digital world, the stability of your own pixelated prison, the manufactured peace of your unfocused mind. But true freedom, it doesn't hide in screens. It is conquered in discipline, in the courage to unplug, to focus, to act in the now, without dopamine guarantees, to be the master of yourself. If this section resonated with you, if the pixel chains seemed to vibrate in your soul, Comment here. I don't want to trade freedom for instant gratification anymore. Rupture is not a new app. It's a silent unplugging. It's when you realize that true discipline lies not in being productive 24/7, but in reclaiming control of your own mind, your own attention, your own life that pulses outside the screen. Authentic reconstruction begins in the silence of your disconnection, in the courage to allow yourself boredom, the absence of constant stimulation, the stillness that the digital system so fears, because it prevents it from controlling you. You free yourself from the need for instant gratification, embracing the only certainty, your capacity to build something meaningful with effort and focus. Gabor shows us, the root of addiction to digital stimuli and procrastination is the trauma of disconnection from one's own purpose, from the ability to find satisfaction in the journey and not just in the quick result. The pursuit of easy dopamine is a flight from the authentic self. The cure is reconnection with your innate discipline, with the power of your willpower that resides within you, dormant. This is true disobedience. Disobeying the voice of the screen that wants you trapped, the script of superficial productivity that the system insists on selling. Disobeying your own self-sabotage. It is an act of existential rebellion that redefines your essence. It is a choice, a radical choice, to abandon the false security of distraction, of the digital comfort zone that immobilizes you, for the uncertainty of action, for the risk of living fully, for the vast landscape of your own capacity for focus and discipline, an autonomy that is priceless, because it costs your identity as a content consumer and returns you that of a reality creator. Jordan Peterson talks about the order that emerges from taking responsibility for inner chaos, of facing procrastination as a portal to your own mastery. Your life is not a feed to be scrolled, but a masterpiece to be sculpted. With every decision, every moment of focus, every act of self-discipline, you will lose the fear of being disconnected. You will stop sabotaging yourself with the incessant search for dopamine spikes, because there will be no part of you hidden behind the screen, no vital energy wasted feeding the addiction. Your soul, free from the shimmering chains. This is freedom. Not the freedom to browse aimlessly, but the freedom to master yourself, to focus, to act, to live with purpose, with presence, without the slavery of dopamine, without the invisible chains of procrastination. If you feel this is the moment to break through the walls of instant gratification, type in the comments, "The dopamine programming ends with me." Or send this video to someone trapped in the labyrinth of procrastination, the slavery of digital dopamine, and chronic procrastination. Does your phone control you more than you control your life? True freedom lies in mastering yourself, not in being mastered by screens. It resides in the ability to choose silence, focus, action, even when the digital world screams for your attention. How do you break the vicious cycle of instant gratification and reclaim control of your discipline? The answer isn't in a new app or a dopamine detox. It's in your own unshakable will, in the courage to face the discomfort of the now. You are not your distraction. You are not your addiction. You are not your procrastination. You are a consciousness capable of discipline, of focus, of achievement, capable of being the master of your own time, the sculptor of your own reality. Outside the shimmering bars, the price of freedom isn't speech, but the courage to break the silence the system imposed on you, the courage to unplug, to focus, to act, to be present, even when the screen begs for a touch. Choose your sovereignty, even if it means saying no to immediate pleasure, even if it pulls you out of the digital comfort zone. This is your deepest freedom, to be who you truly are, beyond digital control, beyond dopamine slavery, beyond the procrastination that steals your dreams. If something awakened in you in this video, if the digital chains seem to break in your hands, comment, "I see beyond the veil of dopamine." Share this content with anyone living trapped in the labyrinth of procrastination. And if you want to keep breaking cycles with me, subscribe now. The shadow you avoid controls you. Freedom only frightens, until you discover you were ready all along. Rupture is the beginning. Consciousness is the path to your unshakable self-discipline.